we are looking at similarity of triangles in proportion. However, the proportionality of triangles is divided into two parts. One, we consider angle position. The other, we consider parallel side. Now, we are going to see a few questions and we shall determine which is which. Our first one here, you can notice that we have this triangle and another triangle which is similar to the big one. But because of this mark that shows arrow and this one that shows arrow, signifies that this question is proportion using parallel sides. Now, to make it more clear, we bring out the smaller triangle, as you can see it there marked A, B, and E. We keep its value, that is 6, F, and E. 6, F, and E. Then we go ahead and we keep the bigger one, that is A, C, D. We keep it aside, A, C, D. Now, because we said this is related by parallel sides, you will realize that the side this way is proportion to the corresponding side on the same side as marked B and B. And this side here, marked A, is proportion to the other side marked A. And finally, side C with C. Now, after identifying the proportion sides using parallel, then we go ahead and we keep the ratios of the sides. Side A over A, side B over B, and side C over C. Side A over A, we shall go and keep the value for A over the value for A. Side B over B, we shall keep the value for B over the value for B. And finally, side C, we shall keep value for big C over the value for big A, as it is shown there. Now, you realize the proportion of A is supposed to be equal to the proportion of B and equal to the proportion of C. Now, once we reach this stage, it becomes easy. We take this as a common part because it is complete. Then we cross multiply with this side as shown there. And also we take this one again and we cross multiply with that part as it is shown here. After cross multiplying, we work out and we get the value for E as 9. And also this side, we work out for F after cross multiplying and we get the value as 4.5. Next, number 8. Again, because of this mark and that mark that shows an arrow, this signifies that they are related by parallel. Now, we shall take the big triangle, that is A, C, D, and we shall draw a side A, C, D. And again, we shall take A, B, E as the smaller triangle A, B, E. Then we keep the values y minus 1 and 6 for smaller triangle, y minus 1 and 6 for smaller triangle. Then the bigger triangle, we shall take y plus 6 and we shall keep it there, y plus 6. The other side, we shall take x, we shall keep this side x. And finally, 4 plus 6, that will give us 10. Now, because they are related by parallel sides, again, this side will be related to this side. The other side of B, marked B, will be related to the other side marked B. And finally, side C and side C. Then we keep down the proportion. 10 over 6, 10 over 6. Y plus 6 over Y. Y plus 6 over Y. And X over Y minus 1. X over Y minus 1. After that, we shall just take pairs. We shall take a pair for 10 over 6 and Y plus 6 over Y as shown here. And again 10 over 6 because 10 over 6 is complete, and the second one. But remember, we cannot do the second one because it has X and Y. But we can solve this one because it has only Y. Then we cross multiply, we work out, and we get the value of Y. After getting this value of Y, then we shall get Y and we keep it here. Then it will be 9 minus 1. 9 minus 1 here. 9 minus 1 is the same as 8. Then when you subtract 8, we cross multiply and work out for X, and we get the value of X. So our Y since is 9, now we get X as 13.3. We move to the next question. Now, when you look at this next question, you would realize that we don't have the arrow anywhere. This means this next question is not related by parallel sides, and hence this one will be related by angle location. You'll see this corner here with the mark. This signifies that the whole shape will represent as the bigger shape, and this mark, we can see it here. This will tell us that this part will be the smaller triangle here. Now, you do realize that the smaller triangle and the whole shape, they are all sharing this corner. Then we shall mark this corner as the second pair which is shared. Hence, the bigger triangle A, B, C, we shall draw it aside, A, B, C. And the smaller triangle B, C, and D. Then, because they share this corner, this will be our second mark as shown here and there. After, we shall look at the angle position. Single mark here and double mark there. We shall mark it A, and it will be corresponded to double mark and single mark this side. This other side will correspond to this side here, and finally this side will correspond to that side. Now, what basics did we use to get the proportion sides is the fact that we don't have the arrows to represent parallel sides, meaning the relationship here is not of parallel sides. Hence, we shall have those proportional angles, and we realize that the relationship here is by angle relation. Finally, after separating the two triangles, big and the big one, remember, we don't get the big one by bisecting here in the middle. No. The big triangle is the whole thing. The whole triangle ABC. The whole triangle ABC stands for the bigger triangle. And the small part, that is BCD, this part, BCD, will stand for the smaller part. Remember, never split the two. Instead, the whole shape stands for one, and the smaller part that have the same mark stands for the other small triangle. Then we shall go ahead and write their proportions. This is full. Then we shall use that to get two pairs that we cross multiply and find the value for n, and also cross multiply here and find the value for m. Now let's move on. Number 10. If you look at number 10 again, you will see we have parallel sides. It means number 10 is rated by the proportion of parallel sides. Simple, we do again. PQT stands for the smaller triangle, and the whole thing, PRS, will stand for the bigger triangle. And because they are related by parallel sides, then the same side of A is rated to the same side of A, the same side of B is rated to the same side of B, and this side of C is rated to the other side of C. Then we keep the proportions, A over A, B over B, C over C, as shown. A is M, small a is M minus 2, we indicate here. B is 8 over 5, we indicate there. And C is Z over 3, we indicate there. Z over 3. After doing so, we shall take 8 over 5 to use it for cross multiplication on the both sides. This one with this, and again 8 over 5 with the other side, as shown here. That is M over M minus 2 is equal to 8 over 5. We go ahead, cross multiply, and we get the value of M. That could be 5.33 or 5/1 over 3. Then also on the other side, we cross multiply and we get the value of Z. And we get it as 4.8, in other words, 4 over 5. Finally, we look at number 11, sorry. When you look at number 11, you do realize again we don't have the parallel lines because we don't have the arrows. So we shall understand that even this question is related by angle location. So we shall find the position of the related angles to know. Again, I'm reminding you, we don't split the two triangles which are inside. Instead, the whole shape, that is W, X, and Z, stands for the whole big triangle, meaning here, W, X, Z. The whole shape stands for the bigger shape. But look at the big shape. It has this angle, which looks like a right angle. Meaning, if the bigger shape consists of the right angle, even our smaller triangle will consist of the right angle. Therefore, in this shape, our smaller triangle will be W, Y, Z. Our smaller triangle will be W, Y, Z. Why? Because the whole shape has a 90 right angle, and this smaller one has a 90. But remember, the whole shape and this small triangle, they all share the corner at Z. If they both share the corner at Z, we shall mark that corner at Z as our second angle. Hence, when we split the two triangles, you do realize WXZ has a 90 in that shared angle, and also WYZ has a 90 in that shared angle. Hence, nothing with 2 stands for A. Again, nothing with 2 would stand for A. 90 with double mark will stand for B. Even here, 90 with double mark will stand for small b. And finally, C with C. After separating the two triangles, we go ahead and keep the proportions as indicated there. A over A, B over B, and C over C. Then you do realize that this is a common pair. We shall take this pair, this ratio with this ratio, And again, this ratio with that ratio. And we shall have two separate statements. We shall cross multiply this one and we get this statement. Again, we shall cross multiply here and we get that side. You do realize in this side we have both V and W, and here we have W and V. Now, it means we have two equations, equation 1 and equation 2. Our job now, we have to solve the two simultaneously so that we can get the value of V and the value of W. Hence, we shall write our two equations properly, where we shall keep V on the same side as the V and W on the same side as W as shown there. Once you reach this stage, you go ahead and solve these two equations simultaneously. You can use any methods. You can use elimination method, or you can use substitution method. You can use graphical method. But for now, the best method for this is elimination method. So you go ahead and solve using elimination method, then you get the value of W and the value of V. Hope you have understood this simple explanation of similarity of triangles, but considering parallel sides or angle positioning. Thank you for watching the video. My name is Mr. Ishengoma.